My name is Andrei Veliki, and today we will speak about the really important issue. Well, at least we think so, but I hope you share our concerns. And the issue is cybersecurity. And we have here two brilliant professionals from cybersecurity field. I think they will introduce themselves a bit later on. Why? Well, I mean, when a cybersecurity attack happens and someone steals, let's say, photos from your laptop, this is bad. But when someone steals your ethers or bitcoins, it is so much worse that we believe that we need to look deeper into the whole cybersecurity issue. And also, I think you all heard of the recent parity hack when hundreds of millions of dollars in ethers were just locked away, and I don't think that things like this are helping the ecosystem. So maybe let's start with a short introduction, and then I propose we speak a bit about understanding cybersecurity.
Hello everyone. Andrew, you forgot to tell a joke that Parity wallet is the wallet for true hodlers. Yes, that's you cannot withdraw money from there. So my name is Dmitry Budorin. I'm a co-founder and CEO of the project called Hacking. This is a bug bounty marketplace where we link our community of white hackers with the product owners, and we arrange the tests when these white hats attack your product, your wallet, your exchange, or your smart contract. So the cybersecurity is something complicated to understand, and people, especially in this blockchain world, they are running so fast in order to make the product, to raise money, to make the marketing, that they simply forget about this very important component of successful project. We decided to do our token sale and bring our community because we really believe in blockchain, and we really see that that this gap is not filled by anyone, and that's why we tokenize the services, and we make a solution that will ease the pain for product owners.
Yeah. So I'm Kotaibo. I'm involved in chain security, so the startup that does audits on smart contracts, and I'm working on improving Securify, so this automated tool using formal analysis to provide feedback to the developers and make sure that for instance, the parity bugs that have been mentioned don't happen anymore in the future. And so, yeah, I totally agree that this security side of the cybersecurity part of smart contracts is often forgotten. But actually, it's not even forgotten. It's just that we don't even think about it. And if you think about other fields that use computer science and IT overall, they don't even think about it. Like the Equifax hack that released millions of social numbers of American citizens. It's really an example of security which is only an afterthought in a company. But the difference in the Ethereum ecosystem is that you're going to pay for it more directly. Your contract is going to be hacked, and all your Ether are going to be locked or stolen by a hacker. So this is interesting because we have the same flaws as in other fields, so like insurance companies and so on that release these social security numbers. We have the same kind of vulnerabilities. That is, we think about security after the contract has been deployed, after we have already done everything, but this is too late already. So I think this is an interesting challenge to think about security before you even deploy your contract.
Thank you so much. So what I propose to do is we speak a little bit about understanding cybersecurity. So let's say if you walk at night somewhere in the suburbs of the city, you may get in the situation where you will be robbed. So if you know that, you don't walk there at night, and that decreases chances for you in terms of your physical security. What should we do in terms of cybersecurity? What dark alleys should we avoid? Who wants to start?
Yeah, it's a good example because if you don't work there, then you don't have the risks. So, well, for instance, here in cybersecurity, for example, if you don't link your wallets or emails with your SIM cards, and if you have a proper two-factor authentication, a lot of hacks will not be able to steal information from you. So this is absolutely true statement. The thing is that it's not. I would like to ask the question to the crowd: how many of you have linked their mobile phone to their crypto for their, I don't know, Facebook account? Can you? How many of you? Okay. And how many of you have a two-factor authentication? So not everyone. So guys, you have to understand that this means that if you will be like in the radar of some hacker, it will be very easy for him to steal information from you. And in fact, it will take only about half an hour for you to set up your accounts that these risks are absolutely minimized. People think that well, why cybersecurity is complicated. People think that this is something new. If I start to work on this, I will waste time and I will not be able to get immediate results. And I'm so small person who I'm interested in. I better procrastinate and do it some other day. But it's just not like this. I strongly recommend you to do these simple steps already now.
Thank you. Would you mind also commenting?
Yeah,
a few
I agree.
advices?
Yeah, that you cannot think about security after it's already too late if you think about it after, because you think about it when something already happened. So yeah, you have to plan in advance for all of that. And yeah, this is also the approach we recommend. When we do audits, we don't do it on smart contracts that have already been deployed usually. You do it on a smart contract which you are maybe ready to deploy, but maybe you're going to have to rethink about it, some parts of the contracts. Maybe you're going to have to re-engineer it a bit. But if you already deployed, it's too late. You're not going to say, okay, I have 1 million of Ether in my contract. What do I do now? It's already a bit too late. Of course, better late than never, but better early than late. So yeah, think about security in advance.
Thank you.
I want to add that the same with the smart contract, the same as with the product. So if you're an investor, you better have a very good look at the company or the product that you want to invest, and look whether they have run the bug bounty or proper security audits. Because we see now that after this second parity hack, a lot of companies such as Bancor, such as
Polkadot funds were also frozen. That's an irony, concerning that Gavin is involved in both projects.
No, yeah, I mean that they have announced the bug bounty now, when they already have the product. It's really great, but in fact, all the next companies, you better ask the question: do you have the bug bounty? Who do you work with? When are you planning to do it? And if the guys will answer to you what is bug bounty, you better think twice whether to invest to them or not.
Maybe you can speak a few words about what is the concept of bug bounty, so that everyone here is on the same page.
Okay. Bug bounty is the platform when white hat hackers or other security experts are attacking the product, and whoever found the vulnerability or bug first, he gets the reward. So these first platforms have appeared around 3 years ago. Most of them are in the United States. It's HackerOne, Bugcrowd, and CNAC. All of them have a little bit different business model, but what it's actually differentiate from a traditional cybersecurity company is the amount of specialists working on your product. Because when Deloitte doing cybersecurity audits, it's like usually 2-3 people. Here is like hundreds, thousands. Then you pay only for found vulnerabilities. You don't pay just like service fees. Okay, we didn't find anything, you are good, and but give us $5,000. And the third thing is timing, because by making the bonuses for those who found the bug first, this make a very proper competition, and the guys are actively working and doing the review much faster than, again, traditional security company.
Thank you. What else do we need? I mean, we
yeah.
got the bug bounty part.
So of course, bug bounties are really important because basically you give incentives to hackers to actually work for you instead of against you. So this is really important to have bug bounties so that an attacker with a vulnerability on that he just discovered is going to be able to do something with it which is not bad for your contract. So of course, you should offer bug bounties. Maybe it's the problem is that it's usually a bit hard to be on the same level as the money that is contained in your contract. If we take the parity hack, for instance, it's going to be hard to have a bug bounty of $1 million, for instance. And this is what you should have if you want to convince some attackers to work for you. So that's why you still need audits, even though you have bug bounties, because you need to make sure that some qualified people will look at your contract and tell you whether or not your contract was well implemented and if you can trust it or not. It's also important so that other people can trust it and not just lose their money to some multi-sig contract which was not well implemented. So that's why it's really two methods that are complementary in the end.
Thank you so much. And now, also from general things to more specifics, maybe few words on Solidity? I know that this is quite an important topic now. Would you start?
Yeah, I mean, Solidity has a bad reputation, and well, I think it's well deserved, to be honest. And in the future, we will probably have better languages that will enable the developers to implement safer contracts using safe patterns and so on. So there are really some interesting new technology in that field. For instance, Bamboo, which modelizes a contract as different states, and then you have well-defined transition from one state to another. So this is really a better way to design contracts than Solidity. Unfortunately, Solidity is a main contract language right now. That's why we should even pay more attention to how well we implement our contracts.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that the Solidity language will not be able to do the function of the main programming language for the smart contracts in the future. We use it because there is no such successful alternatives, but my prediction is that the smart contracts will move to other language in less than a year. But what is important right now is to bring new generation of cybersecurity experts and the guys who can review the business logic of the smart contract to blockchain community. And of course, the process of smart contract review will be more or less the same, but yeah, the key task is to bring more and more experts. We really lack, as for now, these capabilities.
Thank you. Got the experts part. What else awaits us in the future of cybersecurity? Where do you think the whole industry is heading? What will we see in the next years?
Mm-hmm. I can answer.
Okay.
Yes, sorry.
Go
yeah,
for it.
I would like to say that cybersecurity insurance is a very rising trend right now, and the company who proposed a complex solution to the product owners, when you like, hey guys, we can review your security, we can give a rating for you that you can use this rating to get the quote from the cyber insurance company. By the way, we also have the product of cyber insurance. These companies will be in mainstream and get a very big market share. And for instance, like our company have worked with, pre-agreed on terms with some cyber insurance provider, and they give 5%, with the 5% fees, they give 100% coverage that your ICO wallet will not be hacked. And this is quite interesting. If you provide good cybersecurity for your crypto wallet, this percentage could go down, but as for the investors, I think it's very important because, you know, this absolutely crazy hacks that that happened. If they did this insurance, then so many money would be saved. So think about it.
Some of those issues when money was stolen could be easily avoided. I mean, there have been quite a few stories when the only thing hackers did is that they replaced the address on the website where to send the funds. And ICOs lost funds just because they didn't even care about what is happening to their website. I mean, this is not some complex issue like the one with Parity. This is something much more simpler, and it is not that hard to avoid it, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Maybe.
There are already a lot of companies who are providing these anti-phishing services when they review the whole internet on the duplication of your website, and immediately they block it in like just in 1 hour when it appears. So.
Yeah, again, security is an afterthought and not in a basic design. But you have to, if you want to have a secure product, you have to think about security right from the beginning. Otherwise, yeah, it's already a bit too late.
We also reserved part of the time for questions. Maybe you have any about security? No? No questions?
Yeah, any question about audits, security, yeah, tools that we have? Otherwise, there is just one last point I would like to add to the insurance thing. So yeah, I think it's very interesting that insurance will provide ways to have contracts that are not so secure. I mean, to make sure that even if it fails, it doesn't fail so spectacularly for the company. But I think this will lead people to realize that maybe their contracts are not so new, and maybe if you do an ICO, you can rely on a contract that has already been audited, and maybe your ICO is not so different in the end, and you can reuse the same contract. So having a few well-defined and well-audited contracts would be helpful for the ecosystem in the end, and it's the same for the wallets. Having a wallet contract which is well audited and well known and about which you know the limits and the guarantees would be really better than the current situation. Yes?
Thank you.
We have one question at the back.
Question about wallets for ICOs. So if you're doing an ICO and what do you think is the best, most secure way to take in those funds? I know some people are just taking treasurers and just using them. Is there, obviously probably not parity, but what would you recommend as for actually taking in the money and storing it from your ICO?
Anyone?
Like from the transparency point of view, it's the hardware wallet is very, you know, is very tricky because you can lose trust from the crowd that if you do it on the Trezor wallet, and especially like something can happen with Trezor. And another thing is that when you do an ICO, you have this. You have to design the smart contract in very proper way, because if you have a minimum limit that you reach, and then after only you can do something with the funds, then obviously it cannot be you know, on the Trezor wallet. But yeah, I think that the best way is when the minimum amount is reached, then to allocate the funds into the several wallets and to keep it transparent, that all the investors can see that they are they are in place, but to hedge the risks that if you lose the access to one wallet, that you lose everything.